There are times when fear does not warn that it will arrive. It simply invades. He takes over his chest, squeezes his breath, accelerates his heart. And suddenly you find yourself fighting thoughts you can't control against anxieties that seem greater than reality itself. It may be the fear of what comes tomorrow. It may be the fear of losing someone. It may be the fear of failing, of being forgotten, of not realizing it, or simply the fear that appears for no apparent reason, but that paralyzes inside. Sometimes you even try to disguise. He walks automatic, fulfills his tasks, smiles when he needs to smile. But when the house gets silent, when night comes, when the lights go out, fear shouts. And you realize it's not just tiredness, it is a void mixed with restlessness. It is the soul wanting peace, but attached to a tense body which finds no rest. If this is your moment, know you are not alone. God knew we would go through it. He knew we would face anxieties, difficult, and nights, confused thoughts, feelings we couldn't explain. And so he left us words that cross centuries but remain alive, like Psalm 91. This psalm was not written for calm days. It was written for the days when fear squeezes, for the days when you need refuge, for times when the only thing you want is a safe place. Fear wants to make us believe that we are unprotected, exposed, at the mercy of circumstances. But the truth is different. The truth is that there is a God who watches over yourself when you don't realize it, who knows the name of her affliction even before she arrives, who knows exactly how to touch his soul and restore what fear tries to destroy. Today, you don't have to fight alone. No need to fake courage. No need to understand everything. You just need to take a step towards him's presence, because it is in this place, in the hideout of the Most High, that fear loses its voice and peace begins to whisper again. He who dwells in the hideout of the Most High, in the shadow of the Omnipotent, will rest. Psalm 91:1. These words do not describe a physical place. It is not a temple, a prayer room, or an isolated mountain. It's more than that. The hiding place of the Most High is a condition of the soul. It is an inner, secret, silent place where the heart rests, where the mind slows down, where the soul finds shelter. No matter where you are geographically, if you are there, you are protected. But note, it's not a temporary shelter. The verse says, dwell. Living is different from visiting. To dwell is to remain, to build roots, make home. God is not calling us to just seek a moment of relief. He is inviting us to a constant rest life in his presence. And this is only possible when we decide to trust, rest, and hide in it, with everything we are, including our fears. We live in a generation that knows how to run, but cannot stop, who knows how to answer, but does not know how to silence, who lives connected to everything, but turned off from herself. Therefore, God's hiding place seems so distant because we unlearned to dwell, rest, to collect us inward, where God dwells with us. And do you know what is most beautiful in this hiding place? It's just that you don't have to protect yourself. God is the one who protects you. It is He who keeps you. He is the one who takes care of what is around. You can download the guard, you can sigh, you can cry if you need. The hideout of the Most High is where you don't have to pretend faith. This is where you meet the faith that was lost in the middle of the noise. This is where fear begins to weaken, because when you are under the shadow of the Omnipotent, you realize that you are not at the mercy of the winds. You are under a God you see before the threat comes, who covers with invisible wings, that extends your hand before the fall. A God who is not absent when the danger approaches, but proves even more present. Today, you may be looking for a refuge, but God is offering something deeper. He is offering housing, and in this place, not physical but spiritual, there is peace that the world cannot take, because the hideout of the Most High is not a place, it is a presence. It is the presence of a God who never leaves you. He will deliver you from the lace of the bird and the pernicious plague. He will cover you with your feathers, and under your wings you will trust you. Your truth will be your shield and brokel. Psalm 91, 3-4. There are dangers that we see from afar, but there are others, quieter, more treacherous, that approach sneaky, invisible. This is what the psalmist is talking about. The bird's loop is not an obvious attack. It is a hidden trap, strategically positioned to capture the unprepared. And the pernicious plague is that threat that spreads without seeing, touching, or controlling. It is the evil that infiltrates the corners of the soul and routine, without making noise but causing damage. Maybe today you are not being pursued by visible enemies, but inside he feels that he is fighting something he cannot name, an anguish that comes out of nowhere, a sadness without explanation, a fear that grows with the silence of the dawn, an anxiety you don't understand, but that consumes you inside. These are the invisible silence from which Psalm 91 promises deliverance. These are the areas where God works, even when you don't realize. And what does God do? It covers you with your feathers, with your wings. It is a poetic language, yes, but loaded with spiritual truth. God is saying, you can hide here, you can trust me. And it's not any protection, it is a father's shelter, it is a support of love. It is coverage of those who see before the pain comes, from those who know the trap before you step on it, and more. The truth of God will be your shield and brokel. This means that the word of Him, what He declared about you, what He promised, is His defense. When the attacks come, when bad thoughts want to infiltrate, when the lies of fear want to take care of your mind, you have something to protect yourself. The truth of God is what sustains you in the invisible. This is what keeps you up when everything inside you wants to collapse. You don't have to see all dangers to be safe, because your safety does not depend on your vigilance. It depends on your fidelity. And He is faithful. He is attentive. He does not sleep, does not fail, not backwards. Today, even if you don't know how to name what is scaring you, rest. You are being kept from things you don't even know exist, because your God works in the invisible, and He is already taking care of everything you can't control. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, neither the so sneaking, nor the death that plagues at noon. Psalm 91, 5-6. There are times when fear is not something you can explain with words. He arrives at dawn, no noise, no announcement. It takes shape in insomnia that is repeated in the mind that does not silence, in the heart that fires without reason, or manifests itself in the light of daylight, when everything seems to be working, but inside you there is a silent panic, an emotional tiredness that steals your energy without asking permission. Psalm 91 knows these fears, and even more, it talks to those who are living just that. The word tells us, you won't fear the terror of the night. But how? How do you not fear when you are awake at 3 a.m., fighting with dark thoughts, painful memories, with worries that crush you? Since not fearing when you have tried to pray, have you tried to distract your mind? Have you tried to not think, and yet the anguish remains there, squeezing you inside? Here is the answer. Because God is present even when you do not feel. Because the protection it offers is not just for the body, it reaches the soul and mind. God is not just keeping His physical life, His routine, His home. He is keeping what no one sees. His emotional stability, His mental health, His inner balance. He's taking care of the thoughts that you have not yet been able to align. He's working on the emotions you hide for not knowing how to deal with. You think you're alone, facing it all silent, but he's by his side on the dark night. It is present when the chest tightens and you don't know where it comes from. He is with you when others do not realize. When the world outside continues and no one has an idea of what is happening inside. This promise is deep. You will not fear, not because you will be immune to pain, loss, danger, but because in the midst of it all, you will have a place where peace will still be possible, a place where fear loses control, a place where the tired heart finds shelter. This place is his presence, the hiding place, the shadow of the omnipotent, the invisible hug that sustains when reason fails. God is keeping you from what you try to invade your mind, from the arrow that comes from day, clear, direct, visible, and the plague that drags on at night, silent, emotional, spiritual, because God's care is complete. He does not ignore his inner battles. He enters them with you. Today you can stop fighting alone. You can drop this control that overwhelms you so much and say, Lord, keep my thoughts too, protect my mind, be my shield inside and out. Because fear may even try to get up, but God has already decreed. You don't have to fear anymore. He's with you. He takes care of everything, and nothing, absolutely nothing, goes unnoticed in his eyes. 1,000 will fall beside you, and 10,000 to your right, but you will not be reached. Psalm 91:7. This is one of those promises that sound so big, so powerful, that sometimes we wonder, is it for myself? Because the truth is that there are days when you feel it will fall too, where the pressure is so high, the anxiety so strong, the weight so great that it seems impossible to stand up. You look around and see broken stories, good people being overcome by the circumstances, and deep down wonders, how long until I fall too? But God responds firmly, you will not be hit. This does not mean that there will be no fight. It means you will be preserved in the middle of it. That even when everything seems to be collapsing around you, even when chaos is present, even when you feel unstable inside, the hand of him will continue to support you. Do you know why you are still here? Why not collapse for good? Why even injured is still looking for, is still praying, is still trying? Because there is an invisible force that holds you. It is not because you are stronger. It's because you are more careful. It is because there are promises about your life that fear cannot delete. It's because there are old prayers, perhaps done by you, perhaps made by someone who loves you, who are still supporting your walk. God is saying, 1,000 can fall to your side, 10,000 to your right, but you will continue. You will remain. You will live the promise. This is not spiritual arrogance. This is confidence in who God is. It is knowing that even when everything goes down, you have a base that is not shaken. And this basis is God's faithfulness. You may be going through a difficult time. Perhaps the news is bad, the scenario seems unstable, and anguish hit the door every day. But look at this promise with eyes of faith. You will stand up. It will be stronger. It will come out more intimate from God. You will get to know a peace that fear tried to steal, but could not. Because Psalm 91 does not speak of a life without battle. He speaks of a life kept even in the middle of the war. It speaks of a soul that survives the collapse of the world because it is hidden in God. He speaks of someone who goes through fire and does not burn himself, that walks through the valley and is not lost, who is afraid but is not overcome by him. And today, this promise is yours, even if you are weak. Even if the heart is tight, even if you are walking with tears in your eyes, God is saying you'll pass and you'll go standing, because he does not hold you only in good days. It carries you on days when you can't even walk. For to your angels will give order to you, to keep you in all your ways. They will support you in your hands, that you do not stumble into some stone. Psalm 91, 11-12. Have you ever wondered how many times God protected you from things you didn't even know were threatening you. How many times have the fall avoided without you noticing? How many times a wrong choice has been diverted, an accident prevented and undone, all without noise, no explanation, no warning? This is what the psalmist is talking about. There is a spiritual reality happening as you live your ordinary day. And in this invisible plan, there are angels sent by God with a clear mission. Keep you. It is not a generic, impersonal protection. It is a direct order of the Lord. Keep her ways. Sustain him. Do not stumble. This is more than comfort. It is heavenly coverage. You may not see, may not feel, you can even doubt on the most difficult days, but still you are being kept. The road you caught on impulse and which narrowly became a tragedy. The word you almost said that would have wounded, the emotional crisis that almost paralyzed you, the dread nights that could have suffocated you. In all of them God intervened, and when it seems that the stumble will happen, when you feel it will fall once and for all, that fear has won, that there is no more strength in you, angels support, not with applause, with silence, with presence, with invisible hands that keep you up, even when your own legs can no longer get. This is not fairy tale. This is biblical promise. This is spiritual reality. You are not walking alone. In all their ways, even those who seem common, routine, nothing much, you are surrounded by a care that goes beyond what is human. Because God knows that life here is dangerous, and so not only does it walk with you, it sends constant, active, strategic protection, even when you do not pray right, even when in crisis, even when your faith oscillates. Him care does not depend on his performance. He takes care because he loves you, because you know you, because he has seen each day of your life even before you are born, and already decided you won't fall, you will be sustained. Today, take a deep breath, walk with confidence, and know there are angels in motion because of you at the behest of God. Lord, today I come before you with a tight heart. There are days when courage escapes me, when thoughts suffocate me, where fear seems greater than faith. I try to keep calm. I try to trust. I try to remember your promises. But I confess, sometimes I just wanted to get away from everything. I just wanted to hide in a place where I could breathe without fear, without threat, without anguish. But in this moment of prayer, I remember this place exists, and it is not a physical address. It is your hiding place, God. It's your hug. It is your shadow. It is the silent refuge where my tired soul can rest. And that's where I run now. You know, Lord, what is trying to paralyze me. You know about the nights when I can't sleep, the thoughts that invade me, the real and imaginary dangers that surround my heart. But I refuse to live under this domain. I do not accept that fear has the last word. For the Lord has already said, you will not fear, and even if this courage is still forming in me, I declare with faith and fragility, I trust you. Lord, cover me with your wings, hide me in your secret place, break every arrow released against my mind, dispel all night terror. He silences every voice that threatens me inside. May your truth be my shield, may your presence be my fortress, may your name be my help in danger days. I cry for the angels that the Lord promised to send, that they keep me in every step. That gets up when I stumble. Let me sustain me when I weak. May your care accompany me as you get up, when you go out, when you leave, when you return. May my home, my thoughts, my dreams, all be covered by your zeal. Today I let out the fear. Today I undo the deal with anxiety. Today I refuse to live like who is alone, because I'm not. The Lord is with me, and so even shaking, even in silence, even with tears, I rest. Thank you for protecting me from what I don't even see. for loving me even when he fell, for not abandoning me on my worst days. Thank you, sir, because I know in you I'm safe. And even when everything scares, it's for you that I run. In the name of Jesus, with faith and delivery, amen. Fear wants to convince you that you are alone, that it all depends on you, that there is no one taking care of what you cannot control. But the truth is different, and it is stronger, deeper, more constant. You are stored, not by fences, by cameras, in human certainties, but by God himself, the Most High, the Omnipotent, what all sees, all sustains, all covers with love. Psalm 91 is not a promise of absence of pain. It is a promise of presence. God is in the middle. It's behind the scenes. It is around. It's inside. He did not promise that you would never face dangers, but promised that you would never face any of them alone. He did not say that the world would be calm, but said that the shadow of him would be refuge. He did not spare you from a battle, but secured the victory through his presence. And this presence is not symbolic. She is real. It involves. She holds. It holds body, soul, and mind. It covers you with wings. She sends angels in your favor. She is an invisible shield. She is hug that no one sees, but that you feel. Today, perhaps fear continues to try to get up. Perhaps the news will remain difficult, the confusing scenarios, the insistent thoughts. But now you carry a truth within you. You are not vulnerable. You are protected. You are not exposed. You are hiding. And this hiding place is not an exhaust. It is a place of strengthening, because when you enter the presence of God, you get out of it differently. You go out with peace, even without explanation. You leave with courage, even without guarantee. You go out with faith, even without control. No matter what is happening around, what matters is where you are inside. And if you are in the shadow of the Omnipotent, then you are in the safest place in the universe. Rest in this certainty. Reaffirm this promise. Walk on this protection, because the world may even try to scare you. But God has already decreed, you're guarded. Yesterday, today, and always. You may have arrived in this video looking for just a little relief, a word that calmed the mind, to relieve the heart. But now, after diving in Psalm 91, you may have noticed something even deeper. You don't have to live in fear anymore, because there is a place where fear loses strength. And this place is the presence of God. What you are facing may not have changed outside, but now you carry a promise within yourself. You are your refuge. Your shelter is not fragile. Your protection is not temporary. Your peace does not depend on what happens outside. It is born from the hiding place of the Most High, from the hug of a God who never fails. If this word spoke to you, write here in the comments, God is my refuge. In him I rest. Let's declare this together as prayer, as a covenant, as an act of faith. And if you know someone who is living days of fear, anxiety, anguish, send this video. Let the word of God reach other hearts as it has reached yours. Like this video if it was an answer to you. And if you want to continue to be strengthened with messages like this, subscribe to the channel. Here we walk together, one day at a time, under the wings of the Omnipotent.